Good morning, everyone. This is the Edgewood Impact Show with Coach Bennett. Hey, Coach Bennett, how are you, sir? I had a great time Friday night. The kids played very well, but I got to ask you that fourth down call, it was a gutsy call that you made. I personally thought it was pass interference. I thought the DB ran through the receiver. What was your thoughts on that call at Greenwood last Friday?
If you look at it on tape, it was a scrimmage for the referees too. They're gonna miss a couple. I saw two teams that needed that jamboree because I think both sides got a lot to clean up. We saw some things that we didn't take advantage of that we should have during the course of the game that we just didn't execute to the standard that we like to. But I think we've got those things cleaned up. And I think Greenwood definitely saw some things. They missed a couple opportunities against us where, they got a young kid back there that wouldn't pull the trigger. So they missed some guys. That's what me and Coach Liner talked about. It was good to get that game type experience. But, I mean, as far as being the head coach at 96, I couldn't be happier. I think our kids played hard. Certainly if it was a real game, you probably go into halftime 7-7 because you play that field position game more if you know you got the second half. I treated that second quarter like the fourth, so we're trying to go down and make a play. But they Greenwood played hard, we played hard. It was good and physical. Nobody's too banged up. We had one kid get hurt a little bit, but he's fine. He got cleared. So defensive lineman, yeah, offensive defensive lineman. Yeah, he's good. We got the all clear on him. So, um, I just saw a bunch of kids playing the game the right way, and that was what I enjoyed. I was very proud of our effort, and I think that's got to continue. I hope so. Certainly going to do our best. Emerald's a good football team. We got there early to watch them in Abbeville to see kind of what they were doing and who they were trying to be offensively and defensively. They're a 3-4 defense. Some players over on the defensive side of the ball, a lot of speed, team speed. They're pretty quick because every team in the Lakelands is fast. I mean, there's a bunch of speed. Every team's got speed. So defensively they got a bunch of guys that fly around. They play the game the right way. Coach DeBose does a great job over there. I'm actually pretty familiar with them because even though I know 96 plays them every year, at Clinton the last 4 years they were in our region. So yeah, so I've seen, we've that's what Coach DeBose and I talked on the phone this morning, and he was like, "Well, it's kind of like seeing an old friend. That you just get to see him at a different time because usually me and Coach DeBose we talk, you know, week 8, week 9, week 10, somewhere down in there. But um, offensively, they got a quarterback number 7. He's a player. He's really solid. Very slippery. I told Coach DeBose he's like an eel. You can't grab him. But he's a good player. One of their offensive linemen, number 52, really impressed me. He's just a junior. When I looked at the roster, as an O line guy, I like to see what the other groups got, and 52 is a good player. But they're a solid football team, and they play in a dang good 3A region that I'm very familiar with, and we look forward to getting out there and competing with those guys. It's always good to play. We got a lot of kids that they know the kids at Emerald. They're close quarters. They're buddies. They play direct ball against each other. They play ball against each other. And, they grow up in close quarters. So it'll be a good football game. We got a plan. We just got to go out there and execute it. And I know we got to try to keep Coach DeBose and his guys from being able to execute theirs. Yeah, I think it seems to be a rivalry. Being new to the community, I did the same thing when I got to Clinton. I was like, who's our rivals? Well, here I think Emerald's definitely one of those teams that the community we'd like to be able to have some bragging rights there. Because the adults, they work in close quarters too. A bunch of them work together, and it's bragging rights. It's always, that's what the people in the stands are playing for. So that's a big deal. Oh, I was just saying, yeah, so it's a little bit, every game's a big game though. It is. I believe so. I believe he's a sophomore. I have the roster in front of me. he's shifty, but I don't know. I don't know if I wouldn't rather. I, I kind of my thoughts on it are let's try to make him throw it because when he takes off, I know I've watched the tape. That's right. He's a good passer, but man, when he takes off, everybody holds their breath. He can go. What I told him. Yes, sir. The hardest defense to run against is a well coached one. It doesn't three man front, 4-man front, old 50 look. They give you a lot of different looks, and that's what I even went back and looked over the last because I got all the Clinton tape, so I went and watched the last 4 years, and they've lined up in a bunch of different defenses against us at Clinton. Now, of course, that was always other than the COVID year. The other 3 years, it was later in the year. They kind of moved some people around, but they when the two worst games of the last 4 years, one team was an even front. Daniel hammered us at Clinton in the third round. They were an even front, and then last year in the Upper State Championship, Powdersville was a 3-4. So it really, and we've had 400-yard rushing games against an even front and 400-yard rushing games against an odd front. So it really comes down to players and scheme, and so we just got to see if we can put our kids in a good position to be successful. Oh yeah, no, we're not going to the stands to talk to mama. We're not doing that. You can talk to them after the game. I don't think we'll have any instance over there. Emerald does a really good job when they're hosting and keeping everybody to their side, and it'll. Be, I expect us to fill up at visitor side though. Oh, that's good. We like that. Oh, it looks like Braden Mitchell, baby. He's a player. He's he's a player. He's a player. He does. He adds something extra to this offense that we never had. He's a legit. He can drop back if we wanted to. He could drop back, throw it 40 times. I mean, he's a player. Now he's also really smart and diligent. Like they had us pinned back one time, and they dropped in a quarters look, and they covered everything deep, and he sat back for a minute, and then he just took off with it, took what he could get, and got down. I got to work with him on slide, and he takes a lot of hits, so he could ease things up. But that's just the kind of kid he is. I mean, he's 200 pounds. He's going to put his shoulder down, um, or try to jump people, which I told him not to ever do that again. I told him on the sidelines. I said, nothing in this game good happens if you leave your feet. Nimus Oliver is he wreaks havoc, man. He's a good little defensive lineman. He plays on offense. He practices some running back for us, but we really try to keep him as fresh as we can for defense because he makes life hard. I love going against him during practice because he makes people were talking about how much better the offensive line looked at the jamboree, which I got a lot of tape I could show them that we weren't as good as people thought we were. But that's what I did Sunday when we sat down and watched tape together. I said, let me show y'all how y'all are not what everybody says y'all are. And we watched tape and we're better at it. But one of the reasons we are getting better is because we go against Unitas every day. He'll probably be scout player of the week multiple weeks if he's not, defensive player of the week. When he's got his win built up, he can go. I love LD, man. LD is he's just like Braden. He's just a consummate. He works his tail off. He does things the right way and wants to. He wants 96 to be successful. He cares more about 96 than he does about Ladarian Walter, which is rare in this age. He's a great kid, and I give him a hard time. He tries to he tries to tell people how fast he is. He's not very fast, but he's got great hands and he uses that big body well, just like he did on that long back shoulder fade on third and long break the other night. He's a player now. Ladarian's a good football player and a great, even better kid. I'm about to go. I'm gonna. My phone's about to go dead. I'm about to go hook myself up. If once I get plugged in right here, we'll have all the time you need. Walking out of my. This is the live look, man. This is about behind the scenes. Get out of my office. I got a charger in the truck. It's all right. My Dodge Ram, Black Betty. She's got air conditioner. We'll be okay. You fine. I should have brought my sunglasses. That was a rookie mistake on my part, but that's all right. Air conditioner's cooking though, baby. We are live. We good to go. Yep. No. We emphasize. We always emphasize ball handling and not turning it over. But Coach Dockel, he's really harped on them backs this week because we put one on the ground against Greenwood early and got lucky and got it back. Um, so we've put a little extra emphasis on it this week. Oh, you fine? I think we come out, stay ahead of the chains, stay on schedule, no negative plays, and we stay on schedule. And by stay on schedule, I mean gain yards on first down, put ourselves in second and short. If we keep the penalties down and play disciplined football, we'll give ourselves a chance. We'll have a chance late. But we have a game-like scrimmage, um, JV against Emerald at our place tomorrow. We got about 20 kids. Now we got a couple hurt, so I think we're going to end up dressing 18 or 19. But um, they're a good little group. Bunch of young kids. Got a couple 10th graders playing down that didn't get their workouts over summer. Got one 10th grader playing down that made his workouts, but wants to get more reps with the young guys. So yeah, we're in a better spot JV wise than I thought we were going to be. Now Emerald's going to roll over here with 53 JV players tomorrow. Coach, 6 o'clock, no charge, free admission. Y'all, anybody wants to, come on. That was Noah Jabert. He's one of our inside linebackers and plays some tight end. But I think when me and the staff talked Sunday, we said that he gave us the best look all week at practice. So he was our scout player of the week, practice player of the week. Because it's hard to call it scout player of the week because dang, he's a defensive starter too. So, but he got over there and gave us a really good look and helped us significantly get ready for Greenwood. Appreciate it. Too. Bye bye.